Hey everyone, it's Bobbie, and I am here to share with you my next design team package for Country Craft Creations. Actually, the project. I have already shown you the package a few days ago with sneak peek of my prototype. And this month I am using A Cozy Christmas by Echo Park. I had some of the ephemera, some of her ribbons, and I've got a few pieces of ephemera left, a little bit of ribbon. I will be having another project, using this. I just knocked the glue off on the floor. Let me pick that up. Good thing it's a plastic bottle, right? So what I have created so far is a Christmas album, of course, because it's called Cozy Little Christmas. And this is my album, and I know it's dark in color, but I left it dark because I wanted these embellishments to show up against the dark background. So, oh gosh, and I just remembered I didn't put paper on the inside of this closure. But what I have done here, this has a magnet, and I had to add an extra one because of the weight of this. It was wanting to pull open, but once I get the album full, then it will stay in place. So I had to add an extra magnet on the outside because there was so many thicknesses of paper, and so I just put a little snowflake over it. So I used a punch I had in my stash to cut out these ornaments and ribbons. Also the trees was from a die that I had, or a punch. And then these little packages are cut out of the one of the sheets, one of the paper sheets. And this Merry Christmas is a Tim Holtz die that I had in my stash. And these little stars are with a punch. On the side I kept it very simple. It just says, "Have a cozy little Christmas." Oops, something's falling out. And then it's very plain on the back. So, let's go inside and see what we've got. Inside we have a pocket, and I have an insert for that, and I just used one of the cut aparts on the closure, or on this tab, and it has a nice deep pocket here, and the insert for that has a ribbon tie on it. It opens like this. Got plenty of room for pictures in this album, in that cube with a little fireplace on it. And it opens this way. And then on the back I have a little pocket where you can put more photos. Alright, in page 1 we have a little folder, also held with a ribbon, and it opens this way and this way. And then, when you turn it over, you have this side, and then there's a place for tags back here. Need to put my baker's twine in that. There's 3 tags that go in there. Okay, I'll put these back after we're through. Then, in the next one, this one opens with a magnet. Right here. And these are the little cut aparts that are in the collection. This is another one. This is Christmas Joys. And it's loose so that you can put your photo under it. It opens like a little booklet. Plenty of room for photos. These are so fun to make. I love making the inserts. That's probably my favorite part of the whole thing. And I will be making some more inserts for this, and I'll do a second video to show you that. Here's one of the cut aparts. Actually, all 3 of these are from the cut apart sheet, and I just backed them with some cardstock just to give them more stability, and then you can write on the back or put a photo on the back, whichever one you want. And this is from the sticker sheet, the Merry Christmas. I thought that was so cute, and I like these little crisscross pockets. That way you can see what's in it. Instead of it going all the way across, then it doesn't cover half of your tag. Alright, the next one opens to the top with a magnet. Have a tree here, and it's loose. It opens this way. little tags, and they're loose as well. All of these are always loose so that you can put something in it. Now these are stickers and they are not loose, but most times they will be. And it opens like that. And then it opens to the top again. Tons of photo opportunities here. Oops, better fold this one in, hadn't I? And then on the back we have 3 more tags. And it just says, lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. And I just used a scrap to make a little pocket here. And these 3 little tags were part of the collection. Beginning to look a lot like Christmas. This one says, may all your Christmas wishes come true. And this one says, there's no place like home for the holidays. There's that one. We have a total of 6 inserts, because we have 4 pages and then 2 pockets on the front and back cover. Oh, that's the back of that one. This one ties in the front. And it opens this way and this way. Little pocket here with 3 of the cut-aparts in it. Then it opens to the left. I love the truck. That's the cutest part of the whole collection, I think. Closes like that. And then on the back, lifts up and down for a huge photo opportunity. And there's that truck again. This, I showed you in here how I did this closure. Just wraps around and ties in the front. Okay, that is the 4th page. Then inside the back cover, we have the last one. Opens this way. And we have a little waterfall. Opens like this. And then every other one is the holly and the cream color. And I chose to do it in green because I thought it looked so pretty with this paper. And all of the cardstock used in this project is the Artisan from Country Craft. It's just awesome cardstock. You can't go wrong with it. Doesn't crack, chip, or peel. I almost said that wrong. That could have been a disaster, right? And it goes in there. And there is that. And that is my album. I hope you like it. I'll come back in a few days and we'll make some more inserts for this. It's got room to hold many, many more, and I love making these, so we'll be doing some more of those, but there will be a tutorial following this walkthrough, and I show you how to do each one of these as well as cover the album, and then we'll make some more. Alright, thanks guys. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Good morning and welcome. Sorry about the froggy throat. I always have that in the morning. I wanted to get started on my next project for Country Craft Creations design team. A few days ago I showed you a sneak peek of what would be coming up, showing the Cozy Christmas paper collection, and a quick look at my, let me get this out of the way here, a quick look at what I intended to make. And I did not show you a whole lot of my prototype, so I didn't want to give everything away. But here is my prototype. I have just used scraps and things that I had in my stash. I printed this Choose Joy piece off of the internet. It was a free graphic, and I just used some bling that I got from Tammy's store and some little die cuts that I had in my stash. So this opens with a magnet. Now I'm just showing you this because so you can see what I'm making this time. This is the inside cover, and I have a little folder in here fastened with a ribbon. Opens this way and this way, and I'm making mine excuse me, making mine just to keep quotes that I have saved over time. I'll show you. I have carried this little notebook with me forever, and I've got it broken down into different categories, and as I see things, phrases and quotes and things that I like, I just jot them down in my book. And I've gotten so many of them over the years, and my notebook's getting kind of raggedy, So I thought I would just use this to save some of my favorite quotes. And this one just says, look for the good and you will find it, which is so true. You can find good in everybody if you just look a little bit. So it opens that way, and then it opens out again. And then I have spaces for 2 more quotes over here. And then it just folds up and ties together. I like making these smaller pieces, and a lot of them, like this one, if you did it in, say, birthday paper or Christmas paper, whatever you choose to use, you could just add a few photos to this and send it to someone as a gift in an envelope, and it would mail very easily and just be a little small standalone project. So you don't always have to make the whole book if you don't want to. And you know, in the near future I'm going to be doing a lot of these standalone folders, because everybody doesn't have a big family like me. I don't have a huge, I have just my children and grandchildren, which isn't a huge number. But like my sister, she was telling me the other day on the phone that her grandchildren and great-grandchildren now total 30, so she could do a huge album. But not me. I never have that many pictures of one single occasion. So like a Christmas book that holds 150 photos, I'd probably never ever fill it. So I want to do smaller things for people like me. Here is, each one of the pages is just a narrow, shallow pocket, and it's held on a hinge. And this is the first folder. Just opens like this. And you can see there's lots of room for pictures or quotes, and it's held with a magnet. Here is page number 2, and I have some more quotes printed out that I haven't matted yet. This is the second one. It opens this way, and this way. And then there's the back. Let's put that one in there. There's only 4 in here. This is the third one. It opens this way, up from the top. And then another lift. Isn't that pretty? I love this raspberry color. And there's the back, and it just says how beautiful a day can be when kindness touches it. And that's so true. And these are just images I had on my computer that I colored in. Goes in there. I just like to save the quotes because I think they're so pretty and so meaningful to everyday life. And then the fourth one is all in purples and greens. This one opens this way. This way. This one says the only difference between a good day and a bad day is your attitude. Now that one is for real. It really is. And it opens this way. I got a little bulky here, but it's okay. It'll work. And there's the back of that one. So I have lots of room to put more quotes in. Lots of space. That one goes in that pocket, and then in the back pocket I have a small waterfall, and I can add a lot of quotes to it as well. And there's my magnet. I haven't hidden it yet, but you can see it goes all the way down. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 places, and there's the back of that one. So that is my quote album for myself, but for this purpose we're going to make it a Christmas album. And like I said, you know, it just depends on what paper you use. And I know a lot of times when you see something that somebody's done as a recipe album, that gets stuck in your head and you might think it's just a recipe album. But I promise you, if you change your papers, it can take on a whole new meaning for you. So this is the album cover, and on this one, this is the traditional wrap like we normally do, all the way around, smooth, and I wrapped it in a contrasting paper, but still, it's the smooth wrap. and the white goes all the way around, and that is the Artisan. But this is a new way that Tammy came up with, and I just love it. I really, really do. And she had done a tutorial the other day, or actually a video, and she said that she'd had a lot of people complain because of arthritis that they had a lot of difficulty wrapping one long piece. So she came up with this method, and once you have your album put together, it's just like any other album. The only difference is you see the edge here, but I like that. I think it looks really sharp. I really like it, and it's wrapped in 3 separate pieces. These, the front and the back, are wrapped just like you would wrap a piece of chipboard for a box, or anything really, with a 1 inch on each of the 4 sides, and it is wrapped just like you would a cover. Then she made this piece and folded the top and bottom in, and then they're attached on the inside like that. And then you add your black to the inside of your spine, and you're ready for your base paper and your hinge. So I just think it's excellent. I love it. And I talked to her the other day, and I told her I was going to use this method to wrap the album cover that she had come up with on my next tutorial. And I'm not going to do a full-scale tutorial where you watch me make it. It's not my idea, but I really love it, and I think it's well worth your trying. So what I'll do is put a link in the description box along with the cut list for these pages, and then you can try it yourself. But you watch her tutorial. I think you'll really, really like it. I really do. I may make many more like this, because I have a small space. I don't have the arthritis problem that some of them complained about is why they wanted it this way, or a new method. But I have a small space here to work with, and when I'm doing a long, drawn-out cover, it's really hard, and I absolutely can't do them for the tutorial because I just don't have the space. You wouldn't be able to see what I was doing. So I love it for that reason. But anyway, this is the album cover. I am going to add my spine here, of course. I have my hinge cut out and scored, and I'll do all of the gluing off camera so that I can save time. It is scored at 1 1/4 and 1 1/2, and then every 1/2 inch till you get down to, I have it on my cut list, till you get down to 7, and then you'll score at 7 1/4, and that leaves 1 1/4 inches. So that is the hinge. I haven't picked out my paper that's going to go under the hinge yet. This one is going to be just a little different than my original one because I have plenty of extra space inside, so instead of putting these out here, I'm going to put them to the inside like this, and I'm going to add a flap that I can attach a magnet to. That way I can use some of the cut-aparts there, because I didn't have cut-aparts with the first one. It was just scrap stuff from my that I've collected over the years, and I just decided to use it up. Then we have the base pages. On my album I think mine were 2 1/2, and these I believe are 3 1/2. Yes, you need 3 pieces that are 3 1/2 by 9, or 4 pieces, sorry. 3 1/2 by 9, 4 pieces. Then 3 1/2 by 8, 4 pieces of that. Those will be our pockets, and we'll put those together in a bit. Then this is the, what do you call it? You don't call it a hinge. How I'm going to close my album. How's that? Okay. This is going to be the piece. This has 2 little pieces of chipboard here, and I'll wrap it just like I do a cover, and it will attach here, and it will wrap over like this to hold the album closed. Closure, that's what it is. It'll be my closure. Alright, so I will get those glued, get everything wrapped and glued, and cut out my base, and then we'll be off and running to put this together. Alright, I'll be back shortly. Okay, we are ready to put some of this inside together now. Okay, so what I have done is, I just want to give you the basic layout. I don't want to make you sit and watch me ink the edges and glue the pages down and all of that, because that's not that difficult. But I wanted to show you the general layout. So, on the 4x6 flaps, you will want to attach this right even with the edge of your cover, and then place your magnet underneath, like that. Trying to make sure you see it all. This is not glued down yet. And then you'll place your pocket like this, and there's the other part of the magnet. This will lay over the top, and then this will slide down inside. Get it up over that edge. Oh, come on, little turkey. Let me get it around here where I can maneuver it. Get it up over those little folds under there. There we go. Oh, I had it in there. There it goes. It's being ornery for some reason. So that will slide down in there, and we'll glue that in place. Then this will cover the top of the magnet, like so. And then I have my cut apart right here, which will go on top, and then we'll further embellish it as we go along. But that will be the basic layout for the cover. And I'll do the same thing to the opposite side. I've just used the plain red, covered my spine, my spine. I've made my hinge. And make sure your hinge is nice and flat and straight, and it will sit right in here. Then, and I'm just using the art glitter glue to fasten everything together, I will do the opposite side the same way. And when you do your pocket, I gave you the punch guides, where to punch your envelopes or your pockets. I'm at a loss for words today. And when you punch it, then you'll put it in your paper trimmer. Let me grab mine real quick. And I have the small Fiskars that has a wire down the cutting line. Shows you exactly where you're cutting. And when you put it in there, you'll want your wire to be even with these two lowest spots. And then move your cutter over to where you can feel there's no paper in there. I'm feeling paper, so I've cut it too high. I don't want to cut down too low. There, see how it's moving and it's not cutting anything, so it's right in the notch. And go straight across to the other side, and you'll feel it when it hits the notch again. Now see, I'm just a hair off, but that is not an issue, because you can take an emery board. Where is it? Let me grab one over here. What did I do with it? I had one a minute ago. I have one here somewhere. Oh, there it is. It's hiding from me. Just take your emery board and just slide along this edge and just smooth it out. Just like that. And then once I've inked the pocket, and put my magnet. I'll ink this one and put my magnet up under here, and then this will sit on top of that and will fit here. And then this will be the flap for that side. Okay, so that's a game plan for the inside. I do have some strips cut. I'm contemplating if I want to put a little band on there for some cut aparts to tuck under, and I think I may do that. I kind of like the contrast in the color. So that will be that. And then for the pockets, you will have, like I told you, 4 pieces that are 9 by 3, I think 9 by 3. Let me grab my okay, the pockets are okay. I think I got 4. No, they're 3. 3.5 by 9 and 3.5 by 8. So you will apply your glue to these 2 1/2-inch flaps, just like that. And match them up to your 8-inch piece. And use your tabletop, kind of stack them together, and then give them a real good burnish. Now, test them before you glue anything together, and they should sit right over each one of these hinges like that. And they'll turn both ways. So that will be your 4 pages. I do want to use the angle punch on them. I'm going to do the large angle and just punch the side that will be facing up. It just kind of gives it a little extra interest. So there's 1. I'm going to pick out my design paper before I glue any of these in. And then once we get our inserts made, then you can take your scraps and add a piece to the inside of each one of these, and I'll show you what I mean. When you slide the inserts in and out, you've got these folded edges right here that they kind of catch on a little bit. So I thought I would add like an inch or 1.5 inch strip just to cover those 2 little folds to keep them from catching. But there is your 4 pages, your hinge, and both covers. Alright, I will finish inking and gluing and get mine down, and then I'll come back and we'll put papers on these and we'll start making our inserts. Alright, thanks guys. I'll see you back soon. Okay, here's where we're at. I have added the closure, and I showed you how I put it together. I've just attached it on the back, and that'll be covered with design paper. And I have my magnet on there. I haven't done anything with the inside. I did put paper on my page inserts, or not the inserts, the little folders or flaps, pockets, whatever. On my prototype, they were only 2 inches. I made these 3. I just felt like they needed a little bit more depth to them. but this correct measurement is on your cut list. And I've just attached those to the spine. And these I have put down. I haven't done the back. No inserts. We're ready to start the inserts today. So the first one fits on the inside pocket, and it is, this one goes on the pocket of the inside cover. And it goes like this, and like this, and like this. Okay? I done knock on the floor here. My baby wipe. So, here's my pieces. So this is 7 3/4 by 12. And it folds like that, and like this. And what is this one? Okay. Now, if you want, you can fold it like a booklet like this. Either way works. But before you need to decide before you put your flaps on it. Because if you're going to fold it like this, you want your flap on the outside back. If you're going to fold it this way, you want your flap on the back of this piece. So that's all you need to decide. Now the way I have mine is like this. So I have mine like this. No, I don't have it like this. And then it opens like that. So in this case, my flap needs to go here. So the first thing we want to do is add our little flaps. And they will just go right over the top of that back piece. And what I did was, these are from the, I think they were 3.5 by 4. Yes, 4. I scored them at a 1/2 inch. Then with this folded, I went down 1.5 inches, and then brought this over to the center and just cut it. So I put a mark at 2 inches and a mark at 1.5 inches, and then just cut it with my scissors. Let me take my pencil mark off. So all we need to do is set those over the top and glue them down. And I think I might trim them just a hair. Where's my scissors? I got so much stuff out here. I don't know. Let me get this little pair here. Oops, I'm dropping everything today. Allergies have been horrible. They said on the news that ragweed, when it's over 500, that's considered very high. Well, today ours is over 600. So when you hear me sounding like a frog, that's why. It is the ragweed. Okay. So I'll make sure it's square in the front, and I turn it over and add some glue to it. And we'll do the same thing with the other one for the bottom. I love making the little inserts. Try to make them all different, a little bit, oops, a little bit different anyway. There we go. I let it shift. I had to turn it over and check it, make sure it's straight. Okay, so that is that. I have cut a 3/4 inch strip, and I just laid these behind it and just cut it with my scissors so that it matched. So that will go there, and this will go above it. And I haven't inked those yet. I try to do that ahead of time so I don't take too much of y'all's time. Hush, Kiwi. He likes to make a lot of noise. He can hear the slightest noise and he's on high alert. Kiwi, that's enough. So I can see my edge. And this will go right up here. Okay. And then we'll do the same thing for the bottom. Oops, gotta ink it. Kiwi, I said that's enough, now stop it. He hears the kids next door, I think. Move it down just a hair. There we go. Now I've got this piece for the back. Might as well put it while I got it flattened out, huh? And I'm going to put a little sticker back there to hold a couple of mats. And then I have this little sticker. And I want to put a little piece of cardstock behind it, just to give it a little more space under there, so that my pieces have some room. And I'm just going to put that right in the middle. I just cut a little scrap of the cardstock. Oops, that moved. Didn't have it burnished good enough. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right here at the bottom. And that'll give it a little bit more space underneath. Okay, so when we turn it over, this is one of the cut aparts, and I have cut some little strips here. And these 3 pieces I've inked. Those I know I inked. Now I always put the small pieces down first, because when you get to put the bigger piece down in the middle, if you have any trim work to do, it's easier to trim the large piece than it is those little strips. So that's why I do that way. Little glue ooze there. Huey, he said it's enough. Oh, come on, it keeps sliding on me. It's ornery. There we go. Now, let's see. Yeah, I can take just a hair off of it. Let me do that real quick. Get my little cutter out here. Like I said, it's much easier to trim these bigger pieces than it is those little narrow strips. There. Okay. Ink the bottom again. That's better. Now I've got an even space. My glue's wanting to ooze. We had a little bit of a cold front, then it got hot again, but they said tomorrow, in a matter of 3 hours, it's going to drop 40 degrees, so it's going to feel like winter down here tomorrow. Okay. And there's that. We'll close like that, and we'll have our ribbon on here. And I will take a real short break. I'm going to clean this glue bottle, and I'll be right back. Okay, I worked on it. Let's see if that helps. Alright, I want to cut a couple pieces of ribbon here and attach it to these little flaps so that I can cut paper for the back side. I always end up with too much ribbon, but I'm always afraid I won't have enough. Then I have to cut some off and throw it away. Okay, so I just punched a little hole in the point of each one of these flaps, and I'm going to thread it through the hole and just fasten it down on the back side with a piece of score tape, like so. I don't want there to be a knot in it because it'll give, you know, bulk, and I don't want that at all. So I'm just going to pull it up under here and tape it down, and then this will be covered, of course. So I'll put a piece on this one. so when I tie it I don't have a big lump. Okay, so that'll be that. Okay, now for the inside. And I'm not going to make you watch me do all the gluing and stuff, but I just wanted to explain to you what I'm going to do so when you put yours together you understand. So I'm going to, excuse me a second, sinus is driving me crazy. On these two pieces, it is going to go like this. Huey, that's enough. And a strip of the green at the bottom. And then we'll have the stockings down here. This one. And this one. And I don't think I've inked those. But, oh gosh, I hope I didn't get ink on it. Thank goodness. Tell you. I'm a nightmare sometimes. There's that one. This one. And that needs to be the green. Okay, so we can go ahead and put those down. Might as well, they'll be floating around getting in my way. So you might as well glue them down. For some reason that looks upside down. I don't know if there's a right way or wrong way to that paper. There's that. It actually could have a little snip off the end. It's just a hair long. Okay. Much better. And then this will sit right in there. Looks like I inked that one. Did I? I don't know. Double check it. Huey, it's enough. He's still at it. Okay. He just doesn't give up. Stubborn little fella. It's still, yay. It's still wanting to ooze out. I don't know why it's doing that. I cleaned it really good, made sure, dried it out so I wouldn't have any water diluting the glue. And it still wants to act silly. Here we go. Okay, so there's that. Then it opens this way, and we've already done the back. So I don't have all of it cut out yet. I've only got 2 pieces. And I have to have a divider here and something here. So for now, that's going to do this one. I'll come back to it, okay? But I wanted to show you the other one. Oh, and on the back of this, there will be these tags, tag inserts, that are going to go up under here. There's 3 of them. Okay. Let me see who's here. I'll be right back. Okay. Let's put this second one together. This is for page 1. It is this one here. This little booklet with a magnet closure. It's just got several pages in it. I haven't added any of my quotes to mine yet. But this one's real easy to put together. It doesn't take but just a few minutes. You'll spend more time cutting papers than you will putting this together. So you need the 6.5 by 7.5 piece, like that, and we're going to put the 7.5 at the top. I like to use the scoreboard to put it together. It just makes it so much easier. Let me trim these edges, just miter them just a hair on both of these. Okay, and then you'll take, this one is 7.5 by 6.5, and we're going to score it at 1/2 with the 6.5 at the top, and it's going to attach right there. So we'll add our glue. When you do it this way with the scoreboard, you don't ever have to worry about your edges being straight or matching up right. And just tuck that under and put it right down there. And it's perfect every time. Okay, and the third piece is 7.5 by 6, and it is scored at 1/2 inch. And it is going to go right over the top of that one. So it kind of gives you a waterfall or a stair-step effect. And it will go just like the other one, right over the top. Matches perfect every time. So there's that. Now we have the little piece, and I put one of the little cut-aparts on here. This one is, I think, 4 by 2, a little over 2. And I'm going to put a magnet on it and just attach it right here like that at the top. So I will put glue in here. Make sure it's straight. And put it just like that. Okay, so we need a positive and a negative. And we'll put those together. Get the paper off of that one. And I'll put another one of the little cut-aparts behind here. Put the paper off of that. This is when you need more nails than what I have, I think. Is that going to be right on the... It's going to be right on the edge. Let me move it over just, oops, a hair. There. That'll help. Okay. Yeah, I guess we can this it. So that'll be your insert for that one. Now my plan is on the front, I'm going to put a photo mat. Actually, I better put it over here to cover that magnet. A strip of brown, the wood grain, and then this will go at the bottom. It will be that way. I don't have all of them cut yet. Then on the inside for page 2, what I plan to do is 2 photo mats, like so. And I don't have my centerpiece cut yet. And these will go this way. And this way. Actually, what I had planned to do was to put the red along here, but I need to trim it down a little bit more, and another strip of red in there. So that is my plan for that. Okay, so let me put these back here. And that'll be how that goes. Alright, so that is the front cover and page 1, and I will get some more things cut out. I'll glue these down and I'll come back and show you how I have them laid out, and then I'll get some more pieces cut out and we'll do a couple more pages at a time, or inserts. Alright, I'll be back shortly. Okay guys, I want to catch up with you on where I am so far. I did finish putting the papers down on the insert that goes inside the front cover, and I added 3 little tags. I still have to put some, oh, thought I had another one, maybe not. Put some twine or ribbon on them, but it opens like this, and I just wanted to show you the completed inside. But we had all but 1 page of it done together anyway, and then it opens this way. These are the ones that I had to finish, and I just added some of the stickers, and I left them open underneath so you could stick a picture behind them. Goes like that, and then this is, whoops, this is the back. Okay, so that's how that one is. Then on the second insert, which goes on page 1, we had put this together, the basics. I added one of the little cut-aparts here to the magnet closure, and another one on the inside. This is just some white cardstock, and I just cut strips. I used mostly scraps left over from other pages that I'd cut. Have room here for a large photo, 2 smaller ones here, or you could journal here and put small photos over here. Then on this side, it's mostly the browns and the wood grains. I just love this wood grain paper that was in the collection. And here's 2 more spots, and then 4 more. So there's quite a bit just in this one little piece. Then on the back, I decided that it was going to be a little bit too plain for my liking. So what I'm going to do is I cut a piece of the red coordinating cardstock that Tammy sent me. And then I took a scrap that was 6x4, and I've added this to your cut list, so don't worry. It was 6x4, was one long piece, and I scored it on 3 sides like you would a pocket, and then I cut it down the middle at 3. That gave me 2 little corner pockets, which will overlap at the bottom a little bit. Once I cut it in half, then I went from corner to corner to get my 2 corner pockets. Then to get my design paper, I just measured this piece with the edges folded. It is 3.5 by 2.5. So I cut a rectangle, actually 2 rectangles, 3 3/8 by 2 3/8, and then I just cut them corner for corner like this, and that makes a perfect fit on here. Couldn't be any more perfect. So those will go on the bottom, and then I'll make some inserts to go in there. But what I want to do to attach them is so that these flaps don't show on the front. I've got to trim this one down some more. It's not small enough yet. I don't want all that extra bulk in there when I put this down. Trim these up just a little bit. Okay. I want to attach them underneath the cardstock like this. I'll glue them down that way and then attach this, and then I can put my design paper on top, and that's all there is to that. Couldn't be any easier. And then you've got plenty of room for inserts, and I'm going to put a couple stickers up here that say Merry Christmas, and I'll show you that as soon as I get it all put together. Alright, I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, the next insert will be this one. It has a magnet. It opens to the right, to the top, and to the left. And you can use a ribbon if you like. You could attach a ribbon here on the back and here on the back and close it with a ribbon if you don't want to use a magnet. It's really super easy to put together. You just take your back piece, which is this one, you add the side piece, which is scored at 1/2. Oops. I wanted to go crooked on me. I hope this glue's not too cold. It got really cold in here last night. My grandson was supposed to shut off the air conditioner before he went to bed. He was the last one up, and he forgot to shut it off. So we got up this morning, and it was 52 degrees outside, and it was about that cold in here. So I said, oh my goodness. There's that. I'm going to trim it around this way. And just center it as best you can, right along the edge, or as close to center. Got some glue there. And then you have the top piece, which also is scored at 1/2 inch. You want to burnish them really good. Now you don't have to miter your edges unless you're going corner to corner, and since we're not, then I won't worry about it. But if I was going all the way to the edge, then I would trim it so I did make sure I didn't have any overlap there. And that's about center, or close enough as my eyes can see it. And then this little one will be the last piece. And I want it to be so it's a little bit below this one. So about like that. So let me flap these out so I can kind of get an idea where I want it. About like that. I just want it to be offset enough that you can see the papers under it. No exact science to it. And right along that edge. Okay, so it will go like this, and like this. So there's that one, and I'll do my papers later. I just want to get some of these put together so that you guys can work on yours. So we'll do this one next. Opens left, right, to the top, and to the top. Now when I did this one, I did this as an afterthought, and I already had my magnet put down, so this one went underneath and this one on top. But I think this time I will keep this one on top. So, using that for our guide, this will be our bottom piece. This will be piece number 2, and I've scored everything at 1/2 inch. And this one does go side to side. So I'm going to miter the corners, just for safety's sake. I got sniffles this morning. And we're going to put our glue on here. These are so super easy to make, and you can get as elaborate or as simple as you want with your matting and embellishing. That's strictly up to you. Make sure it's straight side for side. Okay, then the next piece will be the side piece. Scored at 1/2 inch. And it will kind of be centered, or sort of, kind of, sort of. This one. Oh, poo. See, I wasn't paying attention now. Why didn't you guys holler at me? Maybe you were hollering and I wasn't listening. Let me put more glue on it. It'll be okay because it's going to be covered with design paper anyway. But I put that one down farther than I wanted it, because I want these to be staggered. But the design paper will cover up that little faux pas there. That was my craziness. And then this one. Is going to be a little bit lower than that one, about like so. should get placement on it. Okay, so that one will go like this. And this one. This one. I think I don't like that as well. This one might have to be trimmed off just a hair. And then this one will go over the top. And it will attach up here. Okay. Slide off. I'm going to give this a little bit of a push. Maybe that'll keep it from there. I think that'll do it. Okay, so that'll be that one. Okay, then the next one I'm going to do in craft. There is so much craft and green in this paper that I'm going to make the last two, one of craft and one of green. So this one, and I've added a piece to the back of it, which I'll have added to your cut list. I just really wanted to do a different closure on this one. And I needed a piece on the back to do it, whereas I have this one flat. There's going to be a piece on the back of that. So this is your back piece. The first thing we add is the side piece, which is scored at a half. And we'll miter that. Match up your corners, make sure your top and your bottom is lined up straight. That looks nice. Then the next piece is the flap on the right side, which is scored also at a half. Now this piece, I guess I should have been giving you measurements all along, but it's on your score sheet. or on your cut list, this one is 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. And it is going to go to the right side. And then we have another flap that sits right on top of this one. And it is 3 3/4 by, 5 1/2. And it's going to go right in the center of that one. I just really wanted to break up the colors and not have everything be black. It is Christmas, you know. I can't see if I'm on the edge. All this craft on craft. For goodness sakes. Here we go. And then we have this little piece that is 7 by, I think, 2 1/2. Yeah, 7 by 2 1/2. It'll get glued down later because it's actually going to attach on top of this after we put down our design paper, and then it will flap over like that. So that'll go there. Now, let me put a paper clip on it. A paper clip and not a clothespin. I want something flat. I've got paper clip somewhere. What did I do to that red thing? Well, you'd think I'd be able to find a paper clip in all of this stuff. But unfortunately, can't lay my hands on one at the moment. Oh, there's one. I knew I had him. Go lay down, Kiwi, you're underfoot. You know, yesterday I had to keep fussing at him to quit barking. Go lay down, Kiwi. Go on. Everything's fine. But they hear so much more than we do. And he actually did hear my grandson coming home from work, and I didn't even know he was here. And that's what he kept barking about. He knew somebody was here. Until he saw Donnie, he was about to have a fit. Because he knew somebody was out there. So, I can't really fuss at him too much. He was doing his job. This is going to sit at the top. And this one will match up at the bottom. And then I'm going to have a new ribbon closure. That's really going to be cute. You're going to like it. So let's get this one down. And these are 6 wide. This top one is 6 by 6, and I think the bottom is 6 by 4. I'll have to check for you. Make sure. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it there. Best I can. And then this one goes down at the bottom. And then this one sits on the bottom edge, and it has to match up side for side with the top piece. Like that. Don't start it again, Kiwi. I don't think anybody's here this early. Too early for anybody to be coming home from work. Okay, let me shove that back in. That'll hold it down till I'm ready to embellish it. Now I'll do my design papers. I'll get them all cut and inked and put on. But before I do the closure, I'll come back and share that with you. The last insert we have is the waterfall. And I'm going to do it out of the dark green because one of the papers is absolutely gorgeous. And I want it to be out of the green. So, anyway, let me move these over to the side where I can see my scoreboard. I like to do the waterfalls and adding things so that I get them really straight. So I like to put it in the scoreboard, the score pal. I haven't scored each one, but most all of you know how to do a waterfall. So this is just the way I like to do it. And then I like to glue the top one on, then score the next one. And on a waterfall, you don't want to miter it, even though they're going edge to edge. You don't want to miter it because you want your edge to stay straight all the way down. Okay. For me, this is the best way to get all my edges straight. Varnish it really good. Make sure I don't have any glue ooze. And then if I keep it straight right there. And add my glue. Each page will be perfect. And just put it right up against that last one and against the edge. And if for some reason it doesn't match, that means I cut it wrong. And that one's got a little bit of overhang, so I gotta cut it off. Oh, wait a minute. It's not up to the... It's still got a little overhang, so... Not bad, but enough it'll make a difference. See that little bit of edge right there? And it's just on that edge. And that took care of that. So I'll go all the way down doing that same thing. I can still see a little lip from that piece. Open it this way. So I'll do that same thing all the way down with each piece, and then this will go underneath the bottom edge. This is your fastener, so to speak, and we'll glue it to the underside, and our magnet will fasten here. So that'll be our final, and I'm going to go ahead and finish this off camera because I know most of you have done umpteen waterfalls. But you can see on this one, if you haven't done one, this is how it looks when it's done. Each one goes right up under the one before, like that. All the way down till you get done. And your magnet's attached to here on the back. Alright, I'll be back with the final, but I will come back and show you the ribbon closure on that one. Alright, see you shortly. Okay guys, I am on the last embellishment. Or last insert. Let me get some of this stuff out of the way so you can see good. On this last one, it had a little piece here that I had overlapped, and I'm going to leave that one off of this one. I decided I didn't need it for this one. So this is how it looks in the front. Opens this way. Oops, I got a piece yet to go there. This way and this way. And that's the inside layout. The ribbon is going to wrap around from the back and tie in the front. So what I've done on the back, I've added these two pieces, and I have to do this after I do the ribbon. So what you want to do is take the two pieces of your ribbon, and I've just punched two little holes here in the center, just about maybe 3/8 of an inch above the bottom, and I'm going to feed my ribbon down through the hole. If I can get a hold of it. Let me cut it to a point so it'll feed through there. So I can get a hold of it. There's that one. And this one. And we want to pull it so it lays as flat as possible. Because the holes are small, it's not going to lay completely flat. Then open it out and crisscross them and poke them back up through the holes. Easier said than done sometimes. It's starting to fray on me, so I need to trim it again. It's kind of tight. These are the little small holes, but I didn't want big gaping holes in it. Well, if I can get a hold of it. I'll take this pokey tool and stuff it through there. There it goes. Got to get it started. That one through there. And this one through here. There we go. Now you want to pull it up so it lays as flat as you can get it. Now that's going to make like a little bow. And we can trim it off like this. Now you need a long piece. And I always have way too much, I know I do. But it's better too long, I can always cut it off. This one is going to go back through this hole. And the opposite end is going to go through the other side. Get a hold of it. There it goes. I don't want it to be any more wrinkled than it absolutely has to be. I want it to lay as flat as possible. Because remember, we're going to put paper over this to hide it. Try to straighten it out a little bit. Okay. it's kind of mashed going through there. And that goes like that. Now we'll turn it over to the front. And it will tie here. Like that. There we go. Straighten this out so it's not all wrinkled and curled up. We can turn these ends off again. So that's how you do that. And then that's the way it looks in the back. Isn't that cute? And then you can embellish it however you want. Alright, I've got to go finish the front of my cover, and then I'll see you in the walkthrough, and I'll share the front cover with you. Alright, thanks for watching. Be sure you let me know if you make one. I would love to see what you make. I enjoy hearing your comments and seeing what everybody else makes. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.